Nuke the pick with Holden and Zargo. Very quietly, there's been an extremely profitable show. Zargs, he's out in the L.A. area. Might be going to Thursday Night Football. Zargs, huh? You got a ticket?
Catch me at SoFi.
Ooh. You need to go just to check that place out, buddy.
Oh, it's beautiful.
Yeah, that'd be
I saw the great Taylor Swift perform there.
Yeah. Oh, did you really?
I did, yeah.
That couldn't have been cheap.
Oh, it wasn't. It wasn't. I paid more for those tickets than I did my first car.
Wow, really? Who'd you take?
My wife. It was her push present after our first child.
Oh, she was all healed up. You guys had some fun, I'm sure. Okay, let's talk about this show real quick, because last week I had JSN's longest reception in yards, went 1-1, lost, I think, 1/10 of a unit on that one. We went to the Kyler Murray rushing over yards. We hit that one. I never went after the Jackson Dart rushing. I should have. I shrunk up. I should have, buddy. And you had some plays too. So I think you hit the side in the Seahawks game as well.
Yep. I told everyone Murray rushing and just go ahead and lay the point. And we did well last Saturday.
Ooh, that's right. You had Seattle. I think it's been profitable 3 out of 4 weeks. So let's make it 4 out of 5 now. And we'll start with Thursday Night Football. And then we'll see if you got a game this weekend. We have the Rams and the 49ers. This is interesting too, because the second Puka's line drop, I was like, oh man, that's just going to be absolutely insane where they put this. And as we tape this now, it's been bet up to 95.5. Actually, it dropped at 95.5. Now 96.5. Basically no way to get in on this, in my opinion, unless you're going to bet his receptions. And his receptions are sitting at 7.5, but the juice is just awful. It's basically 150 or worse everywhere. So give me a little breakdown. What do you got here on Thursday night? Because we're not going in. I'm not going in on Puka right now.
Man, I told you last week, I hate NFC West matchups, and you just gave me another one.
It's not me. It was the league.
Golly, it's one of those where, like, I might have had, I think the Rams have played really well this season. I think they look great. I'm like 7. That's a large number, and then you realize Purdy's kind of injured, so you just can't touch it. There's no way to make an educated play on that. For the same reason, you really can't go after the total. So props is really all we're left with here. And I think knowing that Purdy's banged up, you just got to go to McCaffrey. I think C-Mac is the guy to target in this one. A guy like him can sometimes be hard to find a good number.
They took him down.
Right. However, the one thing that I really like is his rushing attempts. So just when you look at all the numbers, everything's kind of all over the place. Of course, these markets are sharp. And naturally.
This is actually interesting because that's up there right now. And it got bet from 16.5 minus 108 at FanDuel to 16.5 plus 102. So there's a little money coming in on his under right now with the rushing attempts. I mean, I was going to look at him in the passing game because he's basically their wide receiver 1 at this point, Zargs. But what do you like about this rushing attempts then? Because 17, if you're going over, that is a lot, buddy.
I like it because he's hit 17 or more in 3 or 4 games this season. Only when he doesn't was in New Orleans, and they didn't need him. So knowing this is going to be a tight game, knowing he's going to be the go-to guy, knowing they're going to rely on him a little more heavily if Purdy isn't 100%, I just think we're going to soar over 17 carries.
Oh, wow. That's uncomfortable for me. I'm going to tell you this. The projections got him around 15 or 16. The only question you got to answer yourself then, are the Niners going to stick in this game? Is this going to be a blowout, or do the Niners stick in this game?
No, I think divisional game, and seeing how both teams have played so far, I think it's reasonable to assume it's going to be a tight game.
All right. Well, I'll just say this. So he's had 3 of 4. He's gotten past it this year. And then he hasn't played the Rams in a while. He was hurt last year for 2 of them. And then the last time he played, I'm looking at here, is 2023 in week 2. So there's really not too much recent data for him to do that. But you've been so hot, man. You've just been on fire. So I'm tailing, brochacho. I'm going 16.5 to the over as we tape this at plus 102 at FanDuel. Okay, my bet is going to be on the other side of things. And Devante Adams, anytime touchdown, plus 125. The implied odds are around 75%. I couldn't believe it when I looked at it, at least in the projections. So we're right around where it needs to be. He is the highest projected wide receiver to score a touchdown this week, Zarek. He's averaging almost 9 targets per game. Nobody talks about this. The Rams just throw and throw and throw. Tied for 6th in the NFL in targets. Okay, well, that's fine. What does that have to do with touchdowns? Then you break it down just a little bit, and we're going to get, what do we call this? Negative regression. I at some point in time, he's going to catch these targets in the end zone. Most end zone targets in the NFL for Devante with 10. He only caught 2. Tied with Amon-Ra for most targets inside the 10 with 6. Most targets inside the 5 with 4. 0 caught. He's catching another touchdown this week. Devante Adams plus 125. The bet is already in. I bet it at Hard Rock. There are, I think it was FanDuel or DraftKings or BetMGM. Check one of the big books, but you can get this at plus 125. And I really wouldn't go below 125. So Devante Adams getting in the box this week. That's my favorite bet, Zarks.
Man, I love it. I'd say it every week. No one wants to hear about my fantasy team. I would talk about it anyways. Devante Adams on my team. That's the only reason I know how well he's doing. He's just been so quiet. I mean, of course, Puka's wide receiver one over there, so he's getting all the love. But Devante's just quietly been tearing it up. And so I like the touchdown play, and I'm pairing it with longest reception for Devante. MGM's got it at 20.5. He's gone 24 or longer every game this season. So he's the deep threat. They got to worry about Puka in the middle. So he's just catching these deep balls from Stafford. I mean, is there a guy who, maybe Josh Allen that likes the deep ball more than Stafford? I love him. I love him there too.
The only thing keeping me off of that one is his hamstring's a little cranky, right? So, and you were doing this. I don't know what you were going to say about that. A little bit of a cranky hamstring, which is why I want to go with him, to score a touchdown. But he has gotten past that number. When this dude plays, he really doesn't get a drop off.
Yeah. I would say the number at 20.5 is minus 120. And I don't think that's a prop you can typically, if you can get it up to 25, I'm comfortable up to 25, but I'm not sure if that's a bet that you can move the number. I don't think it is.
No, I mean, he's gone way past that every game.
Right.
I don't mind it at all. It seems like it's set a little bit low, but I do wonder if it's set a couple of yards lower because of the hamstring. Nonetheless, Stafford's going deep. These guys get yards after the catch. This reminds me of Jamar Chase and T. Higgins when Higgins was healthy. Okay. Mm-hmm. Now they're older. They're much older. Chase is a baby. Puka's a young guy still, but Devante and T. Higgins kind of remind me of the same guy at this point. Guy that's going to get targets in the end zone, guy that can break a big one. So I like the Devante Adams. We're done with Thursday Night Football?
Yeah, I feel like this is what we were expecting with Cooper Kupp and Puka, and we just never really got it.
Yeah, exactly. Well, we got it now. And then I want to talk to you about the Sunday games. Now, yes, I'll give you a second because here are my targets. And as we tape this on Wednesday morning, I'm just not seeing anything except for on the Colts. Now, I like the Daniel Jones 229.5 to the over. My issue with this is I don't know how much they're going to have to pass this week. I like the receivers too. Pittman at 51.5. He's a little bit much. The guy I'm waiting to drop is Pierce. I think Pierce is a guy, if he's healthy, can get us to a number, especially if it's in the 40s. Low 40s, I think that's a number that's a target. The other guy's popping Garrett Wilson, who's projected to have the most yards behind Puka Nacua this week. Mason Taylor, who had a big game with the Jets. Pickens should go absolutely bananas. Chuba Hubbard this week. Woody Marks, Quentin Johnston, and Devante Adams. These were the guys that I was targeting for Sunday. Again, we're waiting for some of these numbers to pop up. But what do you got for Sunday, buddy?
Man, let me just say, Daniel Jones has been in the league 7 years.
Yeah.
Entering this year, we've talked about him 3 or 4 weeks in a row now. Did you ever think that'd be the case? I mean, this is the most talk Daniel Jones has gotten in 7 years in the league.
But he can't be comeback player of the year because he wasn't hurt for an extended period of time, if I'm correct. I thought he was hurt.
I don't know. I'm not sure what the criteria is that. Can you come back from just sucking? He just came back from.
Well, they don't do that anymore.
I've been yelling. I mean, like, Spread and Tyler gave me crap for the past 2 years because I've been saying, get this guy an offensive line. I think would be decent. I'm not going to say I predicted this renaissance and I didn't think it'd be this crazy, but I never thought he was as bad as he was. However, it's just crazy how much talk Danny Dimes has gotten through 5 weeks of NFL play.
No question. No doubt about it, man. So I think that's pretty interesting when we look at Daniel Jones. Again, I'm really going to have to dig into the Colts a little bit more, and I'm waiting for them to drop a number on Pierce. I'm hoping he kind of gets a little bit forgotten because he's gotten some work. And then Josh Downs too. So they're just not putting those up as we're recording this on Wednesday. What do you like on Sunday?
Man, you go through this week and there's some trap lines. You know, you go through and you're just like, ooh, I like that. And then you give it a thought for a second. And you're like, why is that line there? And to me, the biggest trap line is Dallas -2.5 playing the Jets. The Jets have looked really they've just played bad games. Like, their offense is clicking. They're scoring points. They're just not winning games. And when you look at a line that's -2.5, you got to think twice about it. So give me the Jets +2.5. And give me the Jets their first win of the season.
So here's my question. Does this line get bet up to 3 as we get closer to the game because it's the Cowboys? Right? 2.5 is fine. I'd much rather take the 3. So I'm telling you on stuff. I'm going to wait till later in the week to see if we can get this line at 3. I
don't mind that at all. I do think the Jets, I think they win this game outright, but you know, if we can get a fresh 3 points, I don't mind that at all.
How are the Jets winning this one outright, buddy? I mean, it is at home, so that's one thing they got going for them. How are they winning this thing outright?
They're putting up points in games, and Dallas's defense has been atrocious, and their offense has been inconsistent. And if it's just so often you see like Dallas -2.5 seems like an auto bet, which again adds to your reason that you should wait and grab the 3 points. You know, they got to win eventually. The Jets are not as bad as their record would indicate. So I'll definitely advise taking the points. If someone's offering you points, take them. But my bold prediction for this week is a Jets win.
Yeah, this actually touched 3 at Bet Rivers for a few minutes, and then it got bet down. It also got bet down from 2.5 down to 1.5 in another book, and then back up to 2.5. So again, I'm really interested in seeing where this thing lands. Keg was on Wilson last week with a ladder. We did get the number late and we got it, and he got to his 62. So we hit one of the ladders. I think he's one guy. I love this game too. He's one guy from this game, and I got to see where they land Pickens. You know, if Pickens is under 75 yards, I think that's something we got to get in on. You know, I'm not worried about the Jets secondary against somebody that's as talented as Pickens. And we're finally seeing how talented he is. You know, he really didn't have a quarterback in Pittsburgh. And now we can rip on Dak as much as we want. He is a competent NFL quarterback. Is he elite? No, absolutely not. But he's competent. And we saw how he used CeeDee Lamb. I think Pickens in the low 70s this week probably look as receptions as well as a guy. So it's Pickens and it's Wilson. I think we get points in this game, which is why I was kind of looking at the over as well. But
yeah,
then
definitely.
we got to rely on the Jets to score. And the other one is going to be the Justin Fields. Like, Justin Fields is just running like a mofo. Make sure you keep an eye on this if you're looking at live odds, because Justin Fields is another one. He just has to run because that's what he does best. He's not a great passer, but he has gotten in a nice little rhythm with Garrett Wilson. So that's the next one. Justin Fields, if he's up, he's there as well. And the last guy that we got to look at as far as rushing goes would be Baker Mayfield. Every week he's crushing his prop. Every freaking week. I don't want him to jack it up to 15.5 yards. That's going to be too much. We could still look at his longest rush if they set that at 8.5. They go up to 9.5, 10.5. We can't do it, but those are some other targets this week. Anything else you're thinking about?
Man, do we go back to the well with Jackson Dart playing in New Orleans?
Yeah, I think we got to check the injury report on him too, because his hamstring was bothering him. But he also went out and ran. That's my biggest regret from last week. My biggest regret from last week. We talked about this ad nauseum, and then they dropped the number, and then I didn't hit it.
Dude, then I think I forgot that about the hamstring. I think you've got to hammer the Giants. I don't know. You can take the 2.5, or you can just take the money line, because worst case, that just means Jameis is playing. Jameis back in New Orleans. I love that.
I don't think he's going to miss the game. I think Dart plays no matter what.
Okay, you just think he might not be as mobile?
Yeah, I do.
Yeah, we got no props.
No props.
There you go.
Nothing for him yet. So tomorrow, I guess Thursday, if you're watching, I've got Nuke the Props with my guy Tyler, and we'll run down those bets as well, because we have to look into this a little bit deeper. But I'm looking forward to this. So I will be tailing your plays. We got the CMC rush attempts. You got the Jets, and I'm going with Devante Adams as my big bet. And then, as I said, Devante Adams touchdown. I got a ton of other targets once they start dropping the numbers. Daniel Jones, what if he comes out, throws for 100 in the first quarter? I'm going to be upset if I miss that number. So the Raiders, that is a defense I want to target. Adjusted points against, they've been decent, but this guy, Daniel Jones, has really got in. We got to figure out what's going on with Waddle and Washington and Achane in the passing game. Achane didn't get used much at all in the passing game against the Jets. Pickens, Warren, Pittman, Downs, Pierce, Chuba Hubbard is another guy how did Chuba Hubbard pop? I don't know. It's wild to me that he's still here. And I think Chuba's another guy that I'll be looking into, whether it be probably receiving yards at this point. And if they set it anywhere in the 20s, the high 20s, low 30s, that's another one that I'll be in on. I hope you go to the game. I hope you go to the Thursday night game and have a good time, and you have a nice story for us. Story time.
For sure.
Yeah. All right. Nuke the Props will be coming at you on Thursday at 4:00. Me and Tyler look to continue our nice little run in the player props market. Nuke the pick.
Shout out to Tyler for the golden prop.
Did you hit that? Did you hit that?
Mm-hmm.
I didn't even see it.
What do you mean?
Did he give it out on the show?
Oh, I don't know. You just told me that he liked Golden when we recorded last week, and I said, "Screw it, I'm going Golden."
Yeah, that was a tough break though. So we get the number on the first drive, and he does nothing, and then we hit it again live because we laddered it, and he loses like 7 yards, and he lost another 3. So it was a good call on Golden, but we didn't ladder it, or we laddered it, and it just didn't work out last week. He's a badass though. There's no question. Michael Golden is going to be in this league for a long, long time. Mm-hmm. And then the other thing we need to look at will be the Cardinals running back situation, because now Benson's on IR. So no Connor, no Benson. DeMercado in the passing market. It'll be probably Michael Carter in the rushing market. And I wonder if you're going to go back to Kyler Murray this week.
I have to. It's not going to have many options.
All right, let me know. Post that on the sheet.
Running all over the place.
Post that on the sheet, buddy. Okay, we are live for every NFL game, broadcasting live. So Thursday Night Football right here, 8:10, NTH Sports Picks YouTube account, NTH Sports Picks, and then Nuke the Props, 4:00 coming up on Thursday. Zargs, always good to see you, buddy. Great work today. Always good to hang out with you. Have a good time. You got to get to that game.
Yes,
you got a ticket. You got to go. Have you ever seen CMC in person?
No.
Have you ever seen Puka in person?
I don't think so.
Yeah. Come on, man. Future Hall of Famer Matt Stafford. All right, pal. Great work today. Again, subscribe to our YouTube channel, NTH Sports Picks. We're pushing for 500. We went from 0 to about 450 like that. Let's get us to 500, folks. For Zargs, I'm Holden. Let's nuke these picks. See you, Zargs.